Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, what are we working on today? I know y'all are asking, what in the world are you working on today? It's always something different, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I like it that way. It's pretty cool. Well, here it is. This is a 1979 Motobecane moped. It's got pedals and it's got an engine. A friend of a friend dropped this off with me, asked to see if I could get it running, and I said, well, probably. So let's dive into this thing and see what it's all about. I don't have a lot of experience with these. A friend of mine had a Peugeot moped like this that we got running at one point, but I don't really know a lot about them. What I do know is this one, someone started taking it apart. So let's start out with the basics. So we do know, right, for an engine to run, you need fuel, air, spark, and compression. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow, kaboom. All right, so this is a two-stroke engine, so it's a little bit different, but mostly the same. Still needs all the same things. No valves to deal with. So I think what we're going to start out with is we're going to see if we have spark. So let me see if we can get you set up, and I'm going to pedal this thing and we'll take a look. I remember when I was first starting to make YouTube videos here in my garage, and I thought, you know, this is going to be a pain in the butt having to set this up and slowing down my work. But now I'm thinking about the times where this can actually be useful. Like this spark plug where it's at. I'm not going to be able to see that when I'm sitting up here holding on to them and turning these pedals. So now I can set up this video and y'all can watch and tell me if we're getting spark there. Alright, so make sure y'all let me know. I'm going to be up here pedaling, so keep an eye on it down there for me if you could. Not yet, not yet. Engine's not turning. I'm going to have to go for the tail of the tape, but I hope we're able to see something. All right, thanks for watching that. It looks like we got some spark. So now I have to go through this box of parts and figure out what the heck we've got here for a carburetor, because I see that I got about half of a carburetor here. This is what you'd call a basket case, or ran when parked, or something like that. Because I got part of a carburetor hanging here. And I've done just a little bit of research on here, and everything I've read said that these Gurner carburetors are pretty much garbage. But it's what we got, so it's what we're going to work with. I need to figure this out. This looks like it's the choke that's remaining on here. This is the throttle. Let's see if that... Oh, yeah. Weirdest throttle I've ever seen. Doesn't have a needle on it. Or if it does, it's missing. So I'm going to go through the box of goodies, see what we got. Try to get a carburetor hooked onto here. This is the fuel tank. I looked inside of there. It's slightly rusty, but not too terrible. A little bit of surface rust. I'm not overly concerned about that right now. We don't know the status of the engine. And the exhaust pipe is disconnected, so let me go through the box of parts and we'll see what we got. It's always fun when someone else took something apart. And they kind of labeled some stuff here, and some stuff's pretty obvious to know where it goes, and then some stuff is broken, and then I'm stuck with a bunch of these fasteners that I don't know exactly where they go, which I'm guessing those might just be for the side covers. And I got a handful of stuff here. And this little rubber seal. I know that fell out of inside of there, but it's cracked anyway. And I do not know how to get this choke cable off. It looks like that has to either come off or go up a bit so that this thing can go on here. I don't understand how that choke works. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my plastic welding, my soldering station, and I'm going to try to get this back into one piece here. So we'll do that first. If you haven't seen my plastic welding technique here, I just got my soldering station here, my cold beverage, and you just melt the plastic together. So I've already started and it's already kind of holding. Now for a filler rod today, I'm going to be using a zip tie. Yeah, it's plastic. Similar composition to this one. We'll just melt through it and then mix it in with this plastic here. Not overly concerned with the cosmetics of this since it's just the air box and this is the back of it, so that's kind of nice. Because this doesn't always make the nicest finish on these items. But with a little bit of time and effort, you can make an acceptable product. Especially some of the harder plastics. Yeah, if I sit here and dab this around like this, I can smooth it out pretty good, and then you can go in later and sand it if you want. But I'm more concerned about the strength of this. So I'm going to continue on and we'll come back once I'm done. I'll show you what it looks like. And there it is in one piece. It's not pretty, but it's not going anywhere either. So now let's figure out what we can do with this carburetor. This choke on this carburetor doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but you know, this is a French machine, so I think they make pretty good food and pretty good wine and pretty good women, ooh la la, but I don't think they make very good carburetors. So everything I've read said that this carburetor is pretty much a POS, but I don't know how much money the guy who owns this wants to spend. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this apart right here and work on it right on the bike. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but if I can get this thing to even run, then we can decide which direction we want to go. So I'm going to be taking it apart here, and we'll get it cleaned up, and then I'll see if we can't figure out how to get everything hooked up. All right, I got the carburetor pretty much cleaned up and I think back together. I got that choke cable thing kind of hooked up. I don't know. The throttle appears to work. It's a little bit sticky, but that's okay. This thing's got to have about a half a horsepower. I put the spark plug back in. We'll put the cap on it. And let's see if we can't figure out this exhaust pipe. Looks pretty simple. I think it just screws in here. I'll have to get some sort of a big crescent wrench or something for that. And then there is a bracket down below down here. And I did see the bolt for that. There we go. We're getting close to maybe seeing if we can get something to happen with this thing. There we go. All right, let me get something to tighten this up. I'll tighten up these bracket bolts down here. You can't quite see them. And we'll see if we can't do something with this thing. Make it make some noise. Okay, the exhaust pipe's on, the carburetor's on. I still haven't flushed out this gas tank, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of this carburetor cleaner right into the intake, and I'm going to pedal this thing like a madman, and we'll see if it doesn't make some sort of noise. Let me get this camera set up so you can watch me, so you really can laugh at me. It's probably going to be a good show, so you're going to want to see this. All right, contact. Put a little bit of this in here. Put that down there. I don't know where my fire extinguishers are. Let's see what we can do here. That was it. It was running for a second. And I'm pretty winded. Whew. Let's see if we can do that again. One more time for the cheap seats here. And I don't know how well you can hear it. Whew. If I had an assistant, they could spray some of that in there while I was pedaling. All right, here we go. All right. There is some life in the old gal. That's a workout. Oh. But it's good. It's kind of running. All right. Whew. Oh, man. Well, let me see here. I guess we'll see what we can do to get that tank hooked up and see if my carburetor cleaning was worth a crap. I mixed up a little bit of two-stroke fuel. I ran a little bit through the tank and it was coming out pretty clean. So I hooked up the fuel valve here, the petcock, which doesn't seem to work. It doesn't shut off. Put the hose on. And I installed that air cleaner cover that we worked on. And I guess I lied, it is visible, but it's okay. So I'll let you get another view of me and see if we can't get this thing running. Okay. Oh, I need to tighten the seat up too still. Oh, what's that? Yeah. Let's take her for a ride, huh? I think I can hold on to this. It's not quite idling. No, it's not quite idling. All right. Let's see here. All right, hold on a second. Let's see if we can take her down the driveway. I'm gonna set you up right here so you can look at me again. There you go. Ha-ha. Probably pretty unsafe here. I'm going to ride with one hand. speedometer doesn't work. Not too shabby, huh? Not too bad. Well, there she is in all of her French glory. The Motobecane. I put all the pieces I had pretty much on it. The only one I didn't install, let's see here. I have a license plate and this cover here, which I believe goes right there. It needs some sort of a something to connect it there. There we go. So just the license plate's all I'm missing. But she runs pretty good. Everything works. The headlight works, the tail light works, the brake light works, the horn works. The only thing that does not appear to be working is this speedometer, and I haven't checked that yet, so I'm just not too concerned about it. And I think I got it going where I can start it in about a half of a turn of the pedals here, but we've already ran it, so you already know that. So the guy I got it from, working on it for here, said it's been sitting for several years in his garage, so funny I got it going that quick. Well, it was a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and we'll see where it takes us from here. I don't know if he's just going to take it home or if I'm going to do some more to it, but we got it going, so that's a step in the right direction. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.